Hey.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, or good morning, depending on where you are watching this very last Q Corner show of 2022.
We made it.
We did.
We
made it all the way through. Thank you to you guys for sticking with us all the way through 2022. We truly appreciate it.
It has been a blast.
It has. It's been quite a year. And we've been looking back over the last 12 months. We were looking forward, actually, to what's going to happen in 2023, but we'll leave that for the moment. But then we were looking back at what we've been doing over this last year.
So much. Very cool things. Very interesting things. Some things.
Some firsts.
Some first, yeah. Some first. And some tear-jerkers.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been.
We've had it all.
It has. It's been quite a year, and again, thank you very much for your support. With the show.
It's down to you.
Yes, absolutely. So if you are watching this show, what we want to do is we want to share a few of our favourite parts of 2022. We can't share them all because there are far too many, and we don't have enough time.
We can. You just go back
and
watch them all.
Watch them all from January.
We've got some bits to share in no particular order. Just three things that we felt that we wanted to kind of stood out to us.
Yes.
And then we've got a couple of things for next year that we're going to share as well.
Yes, absolutely. So, first of all, we might as well dive straight into this.
Look forward.
Yes. Diving straight into this, we had, for the first time on Q Corner,
the year of firsts,
we had live guests in our studio.
We did.
And it was a huge, huge thing for us. It was a massive step forward to have the workshop there that the guests could come in.
We wanted to have the ability to have the better conversations.
Yes.
Take away the technology barrier for a lot of the instructors who have to try and do that themselves.
Yes.
As well as teach and
also,
have everything.
Put the instructors on the spot as well, because if they're live in the studio, it meant that you guys got to ask questions and they had to answer because we were stood right next to them when,
there's no choice.
when they were doing
That's
that.
it. So that was a big step for us.
Yes.
And we've really, we laid down the gauntlet and our instructors absolutely took that up.
So the instructors that we had live in the studio,
we have a list for this because it was more than we could remember.
Yeah, so we're not going to do the Q Corner convention ones because that comes later. But the actual ones for the normal Q Corner Showtime Live.
It was our first guinea pig.
Our very, very first
person to say yes, because he didn't know what to say no. No one else could tell him.
Yeah. Our very first one was all the way back in March.
Wow.
And that was
Mr. Glen LaValley.
Glen LaValley from Canada.
I was going to announce his wife. To be fair, she was our preferred guest.
Yes.
Sorry, Glen.
Yeah, well,
you were the plus
just the way that it was. No. So we had Glen live in the studio, and he was teaching us all about dentistry.
He was, He did a really clever design.
Yeah.
Which is
two really clever designs.
True, yes, but also as with a lot of our instructors, they teach a specific design, but the technique and skills that you use for that design can be used. Across. So if you brush up on them skills...
Oh, dear. You can really get your teeth into it.
Nice.
I think we're using the same jokes as we did back in March,
They're not going to be new, but if you haven't seen that, get on and watch it. So that particular piece of content was for everybody.
Yes. So he did a toothbrush, excuse me,
a full set of teeth with some lips.
Yeah, in two different sizes.
Yeah.
It was definitely, you haven't seen it, well worth a watch. We got some amazing feedback.
I think one of the best sort of instant responses, I think it was only a day or so later, one of you guys watching actually used that design very, very as is, off the shelf, and did it for a dentist.
Yes, and actually Glen was still with us.
That's right, yeah.
When you guys sent the feedback back, the message through this design, so really appreciate
thanks,
it.
Glen, this is exactly what I need.
Yes,
brilliant. I love that. Yeah,
but he did for our normal show, the Showtime Live,
distortion.
He did that, but for our Rockstars, which is our membership program, he did foil distortion,
which was when he first said what he was going to do as in foil distortion. I didn't quite get what he was going at because of the type of work that he does. I thought, well, we have seen distortion done with some foil before, but not in the way that he's done it.
No.
Very meticulous and very good step by step. So if it's something you've never done before, it was very easy to follow, and there's some very good designs that are very usable.
So the first one that he did was to go along with the toothbrush and mouth idea.
Yep.
He added it was a tube of toothpaste. Now this could have been. I mean, he used
Very
it
versatile
again. It used it as a toothpaste tube, but it could have quite easily been like hair cream or makeup tube.
Someone used that
or
straight away
like
as well. Said it's perfect. I need this. I've needed this in my life. I didn't know I needed it until I saw it. I went out straight away and sold it, which is great. We love that. And the ideas of doing the vinyl personalization on it, branding it up, the whole cosmetic. And if you think back, which is why we thought about Glen as a good fit for us, was the convention, the first convention 2020. He did that range of cosmetics. The feedback we had from Glen's classes from that
absolutely with the lipstick and
it was straightforward for us to say
and stuff.
He is a twister, but he's evolving, I think, into
very much
he's
so.
Putting
he's doing
himself,
a lot more decor.
And his way of working is very teachable into the retail and decorator market. So really loved having him on, and some of the designs were
he did
great.
The tube of toothpaste.
Some of the designs,
he did the tube of toothpaste. He also did a saw for Father's Day. A saw.
Brilliant.
I'm not trying to punch Dom on that one.
It's best saw. See, I had a sound effects, Keith. Come on.
So he combined North Star letters and I'm trying to remember the other part, taper, right?
Yeah.
To create a saw using
a bit of chrome in there and a bit
of 260 chrome. And then the last one that he did, which was actually my favourite piece, was hair clippers. For if you have any barbers or hairdressers around, it's a perfect add-on, and it was so identifiable as hair clippers.
And as always, these are very specific designs, but the teachable moments, techniques in there are so versatile. So the amount of different objects in the whole everyday object world that you want to create for people who come in and say, oh, hey, I want this. Okay, brilliant set of techniques that you can now build on to complement your current techniques and just build on what you can offer. So love that. Really enjoyable. Loved having those guys in the studio.
Oh, it was fantastic, the fact that we had Glen like I said, he was our first ever
he got the Chris in the studio. So thank you for that. You will always be the first on the year of firsts.
Moving on from that into from March into April, we had two ladies from Pioneer Europe office.
We did, yes. So we dragged them in off the streets. They were roaming about the northeast of England, and we said, come on in, have a cup of tea.
Yes. So we had Julie Dunham and we had Kerry Ferguson in the studio, and they did almost 2 hours of a balloon special.
I'm going to say talking.
Well, yes. Talking about bubbles, not balloons.
This is true, yes.
Bubbles, Qualatex bubbles, everything you can do with them practically.
The bubbles. So many different techniques in there, loads of ideas.
From simple gumballs, and then also putting feathers inside.
Yes.
Confetti.
Loads.
Glitter. Foil leaf, so it's been very popular.
So again, there was full designs, but also lots of little tidbits of ideas.
I think this one's even more important about the fact that this was techniques.
Because there's so many people still that like the idea of the product, but there's a few things that are a barrier to using them, and it just really opens up. For us, bubbles are great because you've got that core product that can be so many things.
Yes.
So a few techniques, you've got loads of stepping stones.
Yeah.
So for us, bubbles are here to stay.
Paint as well, using gold paint inside.
Really elevate your designs. Yes, different things have different aspects of labour time, but then that reflects in the price.
Yes.
So it depends on what sort of business you want to be. From mainstream retailer, hardcore, that's all I sell. Great, to being very bespoke, unique, and custom. It's all there. So
it is. Also,
a
gender reveal bubble. Using glitter as a medium. So.
Boy, girl, or puppy.
Yes. But like I said, that's almost 2 hours. If you want to go back and watch that, the links are in the description.
Yes. I suppose the very funny point started at that point as well. Our little highlight of the year,
okay, if you want to go back,
so if you haven't seen it,
was the last episode or the one before, and there was some clips in there for the shocking balloon dog challenge, and Julie and Kerry
started there.
Yes.
So you don't know what we're talking about? Go search for it.
Yes, absolutely. Go back. For
So we had those guys, and then we went on to May.
We did go. Come what May. May was action packed because we didn't just have one live guest guest in the studio. We had 2 separate guests in the studio. So at the beginning, May the 4th, National Star Wars Day.
That's right. We had Mr. Mortiboy,
Darren Mortiboy from Northern Ireland. He came over. He's very well known in the industry for his twisting skills.
Yes.
And once we got to meet him and see what he was like in the studio, we really did get to find out why he's well known for that.
Absolute powerhouse of designs, but very teachable. Again, as you know, quite often.
I actually really liked his style of teaching as well.
Yes.
It was very easy to follow and simple.
Although I would say his figures are definitely in the advanced,
intermediate to advanced.
Yes,
yeah.
It's definitely not sort of for the
Absolute
first time picking up 260Qs. Absolutely not. However, very easy to follow instructions.
But saying that, the one that he did for the Showtime Live, the first figure on the Showtime Live, was this super cute spider figure.
Yes.
Yeah, and he did it as a couple of different sizes. He did a small one and a giant one, which eventually ended up being a backpack.
Even
as
if
well.
you were pretty new to the twisting, that one is a few practices in. I think you'd be quite comfortable putting that out as a sellable.
Just loop twists and a pinch twist, really, is
so
all you need to know.
very, very achievable at the sort of the beginner level of twisting, but the other designs are very well,
and the Rockstar ones,
worth persevering with, because they're easy enough to follow along. And as we always say, with especially the twisting designs, don't forget you can adjust your playback speed when you're watching one of our videos. You can just knock that down the speed a little bit. Yes, we sound a little bit slower, so if you try it now, it'll be even
but
slower.
if you're just watching the hands and you're seeing the technique, it's better, you know, you can watch it at half speed or even a quarter speed
and pop the subtitles on. They're funny to watch.
But they're not always that accurate.
They're not always 100% accurate. However, if you are watching it at a slower speed, even if you want to watch it as an English subtitle, you'll get the gist of being able to follow along with what's happening. But slow it down, do it as you go, pause away. Very, very usable in retail and decor as well.
So in the on the Showtime Live, he did the spider, which was also a backpack, also a hairband idea, and he also created a bat. Took the same. Most of the design, and then just change it into a bat too. Really cool. And then for the Rockstars,
he did everything, absolutely everything in the world.
Well, he's well known for a certain type of sports car that he creates. Yes. But what he did was he's made a simplified version of that.
Yeah, because the one
is much faster.
The one you're talking about,
not just in speed, but actually much faster.
It's unreal, but it's definitely at the higher level of twisting, and also time. So sometimes things are more advanced because of the complexity, and some are just physically take more time to make. So by doing the version he did, it simplified it, makes it more accessible, but also
as an entertainer,
more achievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the time is for what a type.
If you want to do something a bit more special, you know, but not take
forever to
do, this is perfect.
Options.
He also did the minivan, which he's known for making it as the Mystery Machine,
submarine,
a yellow submarine, a camel. Sonic the Hedgehog wand, and the big one that we really like, which is the front cover for the thumbnail for this particular video, is the dragon. Now he made this dragon as a dinosaur.
Again, versatile.
Yeah, because he wanted to make. He had he said it was I think he called it a goofy dinosaur that he used to make, but he kind of became tired of it and he wanted something different. So he came up with this new one. And
again, there's so many versions of
fantastic.
You can do. Yeah, so we love that one. That was one we were sold on that one straight away. And the other designs, he shoved things in there that he didn't even tell us he was going to do.
Yeah, he just kept going.
Yeah. He's that kind of guy.
He is. Now, the other person that we had in the studio in May was...
I don't think people know him.
The one and only Luc Bertrand.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was actually missing for part of this.
Yeah. You heard Luc was coming. You booked a flight.
No, I was teaching somewhere down in the Midlands.
He wasn't. He was on holiday.
I was teaching somewhere in the Midlands that day.
I should have kept his job.
Had to come back up, and I think I arrived towards the end of the Rockstar content.
Conveniently when all the work was done.
I actually got stuck in a traffic jam.
Oh, yeah.
So it was bad.
Starbucks queue.
Right, anyway. So
if you watch that video, you'll see Keith come in with the Starbucks. So what I'm saying
for Luc,
is true.
It was for Luc. So what he did on the main show, on the Showtime Live show, is that he was sharing this new confetti. It was a DIY confetti applicator.
So he's done a version of the applicator. There is other ones out there. We've shown different versions in the past, and it's just an additional couple of steps that he's done that are very easy to make. You don't need to have a lot of tools or anything.
And very inexpensive.
And he does it start to finish in there as well. He shows you how he makes it, and he shows it. So it's not just, here, I've got this.
It's a bit of tube and some pipe lagging, pretty much.
It's great. So lovely. And then he shows that being used on multiple different balloons. We've got
11-inch,
16-inch,
18-inch.
18-inch.
He uses one of the stuff-on balloons.
Yes.
3 foot. 3 foot, and also he makes a character where the body is a diamond clear quick link, which he
we've
also
done lots
uses.
of characters with the belly being the quick link, but doing with the confetti is great. Love that.
Adds an extra sparkle.
So a few different designs in there, but the main sort of the hero in that episode is the applicator itself.
And it is a DIY one. It is something that you can make yourself wherever in the world you are, because it's basically a piece of plastic pipe and some pipe lagging, and that's
definitely doable, that one. So it's worth a watch for that one alone. So yes. So then he went on to do the Rockstar one. So we had that. Now this was covering a variety of different techniques, primarily on
it's classic decor.
Yes.
Yeah, and what he did was he went through how he ties and why he does things the way that he does, but also he went through taking a normal piece of garland and showing how versatile it is by how many different patterns that can be created just by position of colour.
I know he mentions it, and it's not that we don't like spirals. It's just there's so many other versions out there. And the sort of untapped, if you like, and it gives you so much of an advantage for, especially for the corporate market and maybe retailers, to share different styles of designs, and for bringing in corporate colours and different ideas. You've got that whole range for it. The other thing as well is with what Luke was sharing was the fact that he does a lot of this particular design in his business. So it's not just something that says, oh, you know, I want to share a design. He's sharing something that he sells a lot of. And he has a retail business that's been going for, I think, a long time. I think he just celebrated, it was either 20 or 25 years. Correct me, Luke, in the chat, please. But he has this kind of wiggle column design that he bases on a parasol base, which is brilliant. He can do those ones very fast and efficiently, so there's a lot of profit in that for him. But also he does other versions with the same concept with the parasol base.
Yeah, I really like the way that he created that DIY arch with low-cost items such as the PVC conduit and the parasol bases. So
yes,
it's really cool, and the wiggle sticks are cool.
They are Luke's wiggle sticks.
Luke's wiggle sticks.
Patent pending.
So that was our 2 guests in May.
That's right.
Which leads us on to June, and in June we had all the way from Sardinia. Is the one and only. That's because of Alessandro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it begins with an S, I think.
Okay, that's fair. And then also Italy. We had Federico Onida all the way from Sardinia.
That's right. Shipped him in.
Yes, he came in. I think we
FedExed him in.
Oh, I like that. FedExed him. FedExed him. It was over the Queen's Jubilee.
It was
weekend.
Yes. So he thought that everyone was having a celebration because he was arriving, and you know what? We were excited. We were, but not that excited.
We'd arranged a national holiday for it. So he came in, and we got to teach him and let him experience some particularly English stuff, and the highest quality food. The highest quality food, which he took him for a Greg's.
Yes, Greg's pasty sausage roll. Yes.
And we call him Fredo because it means cold. It's like
Fredo. And if you don't know what Greg's is, you need to look up Greg's.
Yes.
And he had one of our traditional sausage rolls,
which he said it was okay.
It was okay. We didn't poison him. Okay. So yes, he joined us again for 2 sessions. One for you guys on Q Corner, and also a Rockstar special.
Yes. So for the Showtime Live, he thought it was more a retailer design, and it was the Quick Link zigzag. Display. Zig, because you're left-handed. Yeah. It's a zigzag design using 12-inch quick links. What was under the sea themed. There was a shark and a diver involved.
Now, we're saying retail, but it definitely could be spun into some decor.
Oh,
there
definitely,
as well.
yeah.
Very, very usable design within some decor. You could change the heights and do other bits with it as well.
If you don't know Federico for some reason, or don't know of him, he is a retailer and he is a decorator as well. So a lot of his stuff,
beautiful work,
crosses across very well.
Again, really usable, very sellable. It's great stuff. But then he carries on with that under the scene theme.
Under the sea theme. Under the sea theme.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
On to the Rockstar special.
Yes, where he did some more under the sea work, and the big thing was the Matrix bass. Now, this is a really cool bass.
This is, you know, we kind of have a selection of bases that we use, and they're our go-to. We've got our,
This is a balloon bass. By the way, this is a balloon bass.
Yes,
not so much.
But it gives you so much scope because it is a balloon bass. You can change the color, you can change the size, but the technique he uses to build the Matrix is the key to this design and how it makes this sort of diorama of a design.
Yeah, instead of just like bass and balloons and things like that, it's like a bass, but it's rather flat, and also as a way that he incorporated some organic techniques with all that color. There's a massive color mix.
It's got structure, it's got recipe, then a bit of organic, and then the modular add-ins that you can bring to it. So he had everything, every sea creature you could think of.
Yes,
probably the cutest little fish.
Oh, the cutest little fish.
It's worth it just for the fish.
If you didn't see the video before, I was blown away by this fish. I had never seen this thing before, and it's such a simple, easy thing to do.
That was the golden nugget moment of that one for you. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
So it's with a tip of a 260Q and a heart.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
Worth it just for that. But the rest of it is fantastic.
But he's also got octopus, twisted octopus, twisted fish using 260Qs,
some anchor, some coral,
all sorts of different things.
You name it.
And then also incorporating foil and latex in there.
And again, full remit. This one, retail decorator and twister stuff. It's got the lot. So.
I mean, go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. Yes. You will not regret it. It is wonderful.
Super. So, what do we have after that?
After June,
July.
Now, July we had. No,
we need to come back to that.
Yeah, July didn't happen.
That's something else.
Because we were out of the studio for most of July.
Which we'll come on to.
Yes. And then we had August. We didn't have a live guest.
So we are talking about live guests here as well.
Yeah,
so
live
we did
guests
have
in the studio.
Some guests, but they were via internet.
Yes.
This is
so on studio. We actually had Miguel. And outside,
and he was all right.
Fantastic, doing organic and some of the double stuff custom colours.
Don't give him that. It's in this list.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that was August. In September, we had 2 webinars, but again, it was remote webinars.
Yes,
with Vadim and also teaching in the on the Showtime live.
That's right. So again, watch back for that. But
yes,
we're
talking about in the studio,
in the flesh. Making them work.
So that was September, October.
The little thing went on. We'll talk about that a bit later. Nothing of any consequence. And then November.
November happened, and we had all the way from Essex. We had Tope.
Now it was touch and go whether we were going to get this guy.
Yes,
because he did say when we first reached out to him, he said yes. But then
he said,
however.
Yeah, there was a however, and it was if Beyonce contacted him to do the child's birthday or something, he was going to have to turn us down. And we said we were already booked for it, so it wasn't going to be an issue.
Unfortunately, he didn't get booked for that, and he was able to turn up, and we had him.
So Tope in the studio now for the Showtime Live, he did
this beautiful poinsettia flower.
It was a balloon distortion Christmas poinsettia flower using 11-inch 260s and 5-inch, and then a little bit of chrome on there.
Great design, and actually it spun us off to do a follow-up on that one with some alternatives, because there was actually quite a few questions on that.
We got a lot of messages regarding different styles of
not because he
distortions.
Hadn't shown anything. He did that one fantastically, and the way he shows it is great.
Yes.
Just that I think it spurred a lot of people on going, oh, they've seen other things done. Sort of, is it the same? Is it not the same? I don't know.
So the following Q Corner Showtime, we ended up doing a balloon distortion one, which has been really popular. You guys seem to have loved that. So if you want to see more stuff like that, let us know.
Great one to watch. So yes, just a reminder is you can ask us questions because we will do our very best to cover what you're asking.
Absolutely, we are here for you guys. And then he went on to do the Rockstar exclusive, which he did the hoop design.
Yeah, so this was great. This was a really good fusion.
Yes, it was fusion. He took classic decor with alternate square pack, and he took organic decor and put them together in the same design.
Now, one of the topics of conversation for this from Tope was the fact that he does some amazing designs and does for all budgets. Now, because of the work that is seen and where he's at, he's getting asked for this work.
Yes.
But not everyone has the top end budget. So this is why he's bringing in the classic decor, where he can add more bang for the buck, but still add that level of bespoke and beautiful organic and elements of specific designs in there that is more of a achievable budget for some other people.
It's also he was saying that people are wanting to have something different, and the fact that people are seeing organic everywhere designs, and so he's being different by bringing in some of the classic, especially with using how he used the alternate square pack, something a little bit different, and combining the two and being something completely different from what else is out there.
This was a perfect example that worked really well for us, where we brought in two different avenues for the convention.
Yes.
Where we had classic decor with a wall build.
Yes.
And then the beautiful organic section being fused together from Bex, from Bloke Bex. So that, again, for us, it just made perfect sense.
It does, absolutely.
Yep. So,
and then also he created this big bow, this big ribbon bow on there.
It was all right.
With, woven together with 260Q chrome balloons, because it's all about the chrome. I think you do it. So it's, if you haven't seen it and you are a Rockstar member,
it had so many levels of what you can take away
great.
from the hoop design itself, based on the hoop from Balloon Market.
Yeah.
So thank you guys out there for that. Just the version of the hoop that he did as a classic was great as well.
Yes.
The organic added to it was some great thought processes with it and how that merged together. Then the layering, when brought in the bow, another level.
And then he deconstructed the poinsettia that he'd made in the Showtime, and he'd used them in a different way to add them into that design too. I got to work hands-on with Tope in the workshop. I mean, work's a bit of a strong word, but I got to assist. I got to assist.
He passed some balloons.
I got to assist Tope with putting it back together, and it was great fun.
And I'll tell you a little truth right now.
What's that?
It still lives on because we don't want to take it down.
No, it is actually the last, because he was the last guest. I mean, for this year, we still have it in the studio.
Now, one takeaway from that is you could say you haven't tidied up.
No,
it's not true.
We have tidied up.
It's just there still.
It's still there. It is still there in the studio.
It's sort of decorating the studio, and I don't think I want to let it go just yet.
No, we need to get rid of it for the clear up for a new year, new start for 2023.
We'll see. It could be a permanent part of the set. I think we can work it in.
Okay. I don't think so.
We'll talk about it.
Right. Okay. So anyway, that is all. That is our first of the of our three.
First of our firsts.
But
for
which
2022,
was having guests live in the studio,
which is a brilliant experience for us. We believe, from the feedback we've had, that the instructors also enjoyed it.
Yes,
which is our ultimate goal, because we feel, as an instructor, when we've ever taught anywhere, when we're enjoying ourselves, that passes on to you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, so that is the first of that.
We're going to get a flurry of messages going now. No, we hated it. We're not coming back.
It's not true. It's not true.
So, so we hope.
And we look forward to some live guests in the studio.
We certainly do. But we hope you guys enjoyed that experience as much as we have.
Let us know.
The delegates.
Let us know in the chat.
We would really like to know that if that was something you want to see more of.
Yes, and who as well. Who would you like us to bring into the studio?
Yes.
That's always a good thing.
We're currently building our schedule for the rest of the year as well. So if this is the best.
Next year.
Yeah.
Not the rest of the year.
You know what I mean.
Right, okay. So moving on to the second point of that, which is on my notes.
You ran out of space in that book.
I actually think it's on my other pad, which I've left off studio, so we're going to have to do it without it. But number 2 was what happened in July.
Well, there was a little something where we decided to take Q Corner on the road.
Qualatex got in touch with us and they said we would love for Q Corner to broadcast live from the Balloon Wonderland in Orlando, Florida.
So we said yes.
Absolutely.
Then set about working how we could fit everything we needed in our suitcase.
Yes, yeah, which was interesting when you're going through security with that much electronics.
Anyway.
But yes, absolutely. They were very gentle. We got there and we managed to cover the entire week's build of
We did.
Balloon
We made it
Wonderland.
our absolute mission to be first in the room on the morning, last out on the night, to make sure that we could get as much as we could filmed and broadcast throughout that whole event, because we wanted to make sure that we could bring you guys, the people who couldn't go to that event, that experience as well.
Yes, and we tried to bring you stuff from behind the scenes, some extra interviews with our captain, with the wonderful Billy Damon, who was part of our team. Yeah, and also we had...
Love you, Billy!
We also had...
Billy broke the internet.
Yeah, we also had hashtag Thanks Reese as part of our team as
roving
well. So
reporter.
Fantastic. Reese there supporting Billy with all of the camera work.
And technical know-how.
Keeping him
Diary,
right.
calendar,
everything,
you name it.
everything to keep Billy on track, or trying to. So yeah, it was absolutely wonderful, and we knew it was going to be good.
Yes,
but I don't think we expected it to hit quite so hard as it did.
Yeah,
because of
the topic. Let's say, it was a unique experience past any convention or event that we've ever been to.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the size of the build was absolutely huge. The amount of balloons that we used was huge. You know, and we've seen that many balloons used in one space with things like the World Balloon Convention and everything. But it was very different, had a very different feel to this.
The interactive nature of it, the journey that you take through it, and the links to the charity and the village that it is part of was unique. Now,
I mean, I'm going to read this bit out here.
If you've never, and if you haven't seen anything about it yet, Keith's going to just read a little passage to you, where we can send you on your way to go and read a bit about it.
If you have a look,
we can't do it justice now.
So here we go. They travelled far and wide, both to share their special talents as well as learn from others, pouring their hearts into the designs. So many precious details were packed into each of the sections that it's almost impossible to see them all. We can't thank them enough for their time and talents on this incredible experience. Balloon Wonderland was a ginormous and magical walk-through display crafted from Qualatex latex, foil, bubble balloons and accessory items, all accented with lighting and sound. The 7 themed areas were each based on a real-life venue in Give Kids the World village and covered the 25,000 square feet Windsong Ballroom of the Hyatt Grand Cypress Hotel.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm still wearing my.
Just about.
It's playing on the outside, but I know what it's for.
Yes, so it was an amazing thing to be part of. Dom and I were lucky enough to actually be able to go to the village itself and record some footage from there too. And yeah, it was. Yeah,
you know, we learned a lot on that trip as well about taking Q Corner on the road. Learned to say no. No. You know, would we do it again?
There's a lot of challenges involved.
It was a challenging week for us, and we've learned so much from that. Yeah. And if we ever do something like that again, I'm sure that we will be able to elevate what we do. But to be involved in that experience and share it was a unique opportunity for us.
We even created a 360 walk through, so you can walk through and you can look around. If you have a VR
that's
headset,
the only thing that you see about that. That's the thing to watch. You know, watch some of the build up to it, watch some of the behind the scenes, watch some of the time lapses, but that's the one.
Yes.
The 361. So have a search for that 360.
If you're watching on a phone through the YouTube app, you can actually move your phone around and it'll look around. If you're looking on a computer, you can actually scroll around. But if you do have a VR headset, you can immerse yourself in it and look all the way around.
Brilliant. My kids have really enjoyed looking at that. Just to really understand.
My daughter was trying to. Katie was like reaching out and trying to touch the balloons as they were going past and things because she had the headset on.
One of the key challenges for us on this particular build. We set out at the beginning and we knew we were going to do this walk around. We didn't know exactly how we were going to do it, but we knew we were going to achieve it. The reason being was we know that every delegate that's gone there will be building stuff that would probably maybe be at the side and tucked away. It's a big part of it. It's so important, but quite often if you just go around taking photos, you're sort of taking the photos of the the hero elements, the core pieces, and then but there's all this other stuff. There's all these tiny things, or someone who's just done this amazing dinosaur head or something. We want to make sure that we documented it for everyone
as much as we possibly could. So we did a very slow walkthrough of the whole thing, so you can go to a certain part, you can turn around, you can look
up, down, everywhere.
And you can, if you're on a desktop computer, you can even zoom in a little bit as well.
Yeah, and actually, if you listen to it as well, it's got some music that takes you through the journey and the theming of it as well. But we've actually had quite a lot of messages from the delegates who've been on it, who've saying, "Oh, I can see these things that I made, or this butterfly or this dragonfly, and I made 20 of those, and I can see them all. I can show my family the bit I did, because none of it is missed."
No, absolutely. And you can have a look through on Q Corner. We have a playlist which has all of the video content and from Balloon Wonderland, but also don't miss out on the Balloon Images magazine, because they did a fantastic special on there too, and the links for those are in the description.
Now, as a sort of an additional thank you, we've thanked you before, but we'll thank you again. So the whole event was doing some fundraising as well. Now, as far as the charity is concerned, just the PR alone was worth it.
Yeah.
But they did raise a substantial figure.
53,000.
Yeah, which is an amazing amount to raise. Yeah. But directly on this channel from you guys, we raised in excess of...
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember.
It was thousands.
Oh yeah, it was. It was literally. We set a goal of 2,000, but it went well above that. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I can't remember. It was. No, I think it was. I can't remember.
I can't remember now. But it was huge.
Yes.
It was. We would try to raise $1,000.
Yeah, 2,000. We set the target originally, initially 2,000, and we completely blew it out of the water. So
and that's absolutely. You guys.
And it was you guys. So thank you very much. In fact, what we should do is we should put the exact amount in,
because we've thrown a lot of numbers out there.
Yes.
None of them.
I know that 53,000 was what they raised overall.
And our number makes up part of that. Yes. But let's put it back on as a big thank you to say, you know what, you guys did that.
You did.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it was amazing to be part of. So thank you to Qualatex for asking us to do that.
Yes, and thank you for the TSA for being very gentle and not confiscating everything from us.
Absolutely. Okay, so our third and final thing to look back on 2022, one of our highlights.
It was a little thing that we did in October.
Yes. Was the third installation of the Q Corner Convention.
It was, yes, the third annual virtual balloon convention.
Yes, and it was
different again.
Yeah, it was different because we did it slightly hybrid this time.
Yeah.
So although that we did the majority of the classes remote, again, from instructors around the world, we had over 40 instructors.
Yep, we wanted to make sure that, as always, we're bringing in content from around the globe in different languages and for different styles and themes and all that kind of stuff as well. We don't want to be just...
Try to cover as many aspects of the balloon industry as we could.
Certainly.
We had 78 hours live straight through.
We did.
Yep.
And the third one was the most on time.
Yes.
And that's totally thanks to me and Keith. We'll take personal credit for staying on time this year. In fairness, though, the reasons that the previous years weren't on time, I'll say us
was
as well.
Also us. So we've learned from previous ones. The second one was better, and the first one was chaos, but we only had 2.5 weeks to arrange the whole thing. The second one was better, and this third one was the best yet. And if you haven't seen it, you do have to be a Rockstar member to do it. It's only $4.99 for a month.
All that content is still available as well. Yes. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, sign up to be a Rockstar, and you can watch it. Don't forget, it is a subscription payment.
Yes.
However, you can cancel, pause, restart at any time.
It's like Netflix, but it's only $4.99. So
all that juicy content.
So so we had, like I said, over 40 instructors, over 78 hours. It was hybrid because we had some instructors here.
We did. We had online.
Yes.
And in the studio.
So the instructors that we had was we had Alessandro.
We had Robert.
Dr. Bob. We had Lucy Hennessy.
We did, yes. We had Bex from Blow It With Bex Balloons.
We had...
I think I over-enunciated Bex.
Julie Dunham.
We did. We had Kerry Ferguson.
We had Cam Woody,
Ta-da!
from head office, come over as well. And then we also, to make our last one on top of that,
we said 2 at first. We said we were going to have 2 people.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know
we
that.
blew
But,
that.
yeah. And then we also had one very special delegate. We opened up a competition in conjunction with Bapia. Thank you very much, Bapia. To organise one delegate to come along and be the assistant.
We felt that we wanted to give the instructors a focus, and having a live studio audience would be the way of doing it.
So we had one delegate.
Then we decided we had no space for a live studio audience, so we said, let's have one delegate.
Yes.
So we said, how could we possibly sell or invite one? We don't. We make it a competition. How could we possibly decide? We don't. We give it to Bapia to do.
So, in conjunction with Bapia, we ran a competition, and one delegate, lucky delegate, was Donna Higgins from Northern Ireland.
I think even to the point she got here, she still wasn't convinced that she was coming.
No, she contacted us and said, "Is this for real? Yeah. Is this for?" And it's like, "Yeah, it is absolutely for real."
Being pranksters.
Yeah. So she came over and got involved in everything. Now, what happened?
She didn't want to, but unfortunately, she had no choice.
We had lessons that covered all sorts of designs and all sorts of different themes, and we were using bubbles and latex and twisting balloons.
All
and
this whilst the build was going on. We had 3 days of all those guys working together as a real tight-knit group to create a build in the hotel.
The fairy tale forest that was created in the hotel.
So each of their classes is linked to that build.
Yeah, like Alessandro taught how to make frame trees and make trees.
Yep, and then the cool kind of hanging bits off it as well, which I don't know what they are, but they're just a fantasy-looking flower stuff. Yeah, awesome.
So that was his classes on there, and then he used those. And then the ideas.
Kerry did some walls.
Kerry Ferguson did walls.
She was not going to let us.
It's a great class.
Not let her do walls.
She loved doing the walls.
Honest to God, people, you won't understand how many times that this lady contacted us and said, "Guys, if you don't let me teach walls, I'm not coming."
But each of the instructors took a different part and taught it.
Kerry did the walls.
Took a different part and taught the techniques that were involved and showcased the product as well that were being used, and then put it into
the hotel.
Build.
Had no idea.
No.
And then, every day we're like.
In fact, after the event, they used it for there was a gender reveal, an engagement, and a funeral. Yeah. There was a wake.
Now they were offered to have it removed out the room, taken down for their event. And they said no, we love it.
All
we
wanted
want
it. Yeah.
And then they even had sort of an open day after that as well. So we got
members of the public were allowed to come and check it out.
Really good. But yes, each of the instructors came and they did a part or elements of the build, and then they did teaching moments from that as well in the studio here. Now, each of those ones were taught, and in most cases, Donna was dragged over to be a willing assistant for that section.
Yes, so she got absolutely hand-on. If you want to read her journey...
her version of events.
Her journey through this, if you go get yourself onto the Very Best Balloon blog with Sue Bowler. Yes. Sue interviewed her for an article on there, and it's a good read.
It's a handy, especially on your desktop.
Also,
site,
the link is in the description.
If you just search in Google for the Very Best Balloon blog, it will come up absolutely. And there's a search at the right-hand side, about halfway down, I think it is. You can just stick in Q Corner there as well.
Yeah.
And that'll find
get yourself in the description.
Great articles by Sue.
It's there.
So thank you, Sue.
I think it's titled "Meet Donna Higgins" or something. The only delegate of the Q Corner convention. Yeah,
yes,
it's a great story.
It is. It really is. It's really good.
So that leads us to the end of our 3 favourite things. Well, not favourite, but 3 fantastic things. No, because now we need to tell you some exciting things that we're looking forward to in 2023.
Yeah, so we kind of got a few things lined up for next year. We've definitely got some guests coming in because no one said you don't like that yet.
Yes.
So as it stands, we have got booked in. We're not giving names just yet. But we have the final confirmations for dates and times and all the rest of it.
But should have.
Yes.
Touch wood. In February, we have guests. Live in the studio.
I think you're going big and doing an announcement
In March, we have guests live in the studio.
Yes.
And in April...
Now, actually, we technically got some guests in January as well. Now, we're not going to announce that yet. If it pulls off, we should have these 2 people in January, remember? We'll announce that at the beginning of the year. These 2 very good.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. Okay, I get what I was trying to figure out where you were going with that.
They haven't 100%
and I was thinking, What have
It's
I
because
missed?
I haven't confirmed
It's
yet.
because we were just discussing it. Yeah. Okay.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, these two guests will be in the studio in January.
Yes.
Then we've got the February. Then we've got the March.
And then we've got the April. And that's where we kind of booked it up to for the moment. So if you do, if you have any suggestions for people that we could potentially have in the studio,
always open to you telling us.
And then, so we've got the live guests continuing on in 2023, which we're really looking forward to. We love it when the guests come here. Then what else do we have?
Now, for the back end of the year, we're talking about what we got booked.
Oh, you're going to go with that one? I was going to go with the other one first.
No, I'll go big on this one. So we have confirmed. We have said we've run it
tentatively confirmed.
We ran it past ourselves and said, "Oh, go on then. We'll do another one."
Q Corner Convention 2023.
Now, I've been saying 2023 for a long time anyway, so it was set.
So
not that there was one, it's just that I kept calling the 2022 one.
We are looking, it's tentatively booked in for week commencing the 18th of September.
Yes.
So we will be starting to approach people for instructors, choices and things like that.
Format is not set yet, or the days. It's gonna be that week. It's just we have got a few things on the table and some crazy ideas, which we're probably just gonna say no to because we're stupid.
So our meetings about the whole thing start in January. So we're looking for your input too.
Yeah. If there's something that you loved, if there's something you hated, something you just sort of liked,
you want to see more of, less of, whatever.
Yeah,
let us know.
We're always open to it. What we can do or will do is debatable, but we are always open to those critique.
Yeah, critique, opinions, advice, and questions.
Yeah, so please let us know. That'd be fab.
We just want your feedback.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And then the last thing.
Yes, the final announcement.
Which I thought you would have done that first. But no. There was.
I think this is the best one.
Yeah, in the beginning of next year. Now
I don't think anyone would truly believe we wouldn't do another convention.
Oh, well, that's fair. So, at the beginning of next year, we will be releasing a new
tool.
Yes, it's a website tool, which can also be, you can add it to your phone as an app as well if you need it, which will give you better access and be more searchable for Q Corner content.
This goes back to what we're saying about we are listening, and just some things.
We get asked about how do I find to cover pinch twist? How do I cover weaving? How do I find this instructor?
I watched one of your episodes, videos, and you talked about
business skills,
but I can't remember which one it was. Do you remember? So we get questions like that all the time. Now, in fairness, I'd love to be able to say, "Oh, yes, go to episode X." Yeah. You know, I can't, so I need to go and look myself. And go find it.
And then we generally, when people ask us for that, we'll send you the links and things like that. And
now we live and breathe it. Yet I still can't remember when we did that.
Yes.
So we totally accept when you're saying you can't find something that it is an issue.
Yes.
And we took that on board, and we've tried a few ways and they were not working.
Yeah, and you know, for you guys that are rock stars, you know, you have access to the rockstar.qcorner.tv, which is a spreadsheet that has all the bonus Rockstar content.
But again,
we know it's not perfect.
Plenty of feedback on that.
We also know that it's not very good to see on a mobile device.
We agree. We're not arguing.
You don't need to send us any more messages about how hard it is to see on a mobile device. We get it. We agree. And what we've done is we're having
we went back to the drawing board.
We are creating a website which will be launched early 2023, because 2023 is actually season 3 of Q Corner.
It is, yep. So it'll have the ability so you can go on and search for a technique, an instructor, a theme, a discipline, you know, retail, decorator, business, and it will give you a dynamic list of what episodes are available with a live link or a shareable link to share with someone, or just go to yourself as well.
So look out for that. We are also hoping.
And again, be kind.
Yeah.
Be generous. But if there's some feedback on it when you go onto it, please tell us. Don't just sit there saying, "Oh, I wish it did this," or "It doesn't do this properly." Let us know. We'll do our very best
to
make
feedback
that useful as possible.
And also, we're hoping. After launch, in the not too distant future after that it will be available in multi-language too.
Oh, you went big.
Yes. So that
was big.
Yeah. So I've said it.
There's the check.
It has to happen.
Okay.
Okay. So with that,
on that note, bye-bye, 2022.
We hope you had a fantastic Christmas, and we hope that you have a wonderful New Year.
Yes.
And we really look forward to seeing you guys in 2020.
And if you're in the UK or Europe and want to have a little trip out, we will be at Spring Fair in Birmingham in February.
Yes, beginning of February.
Where? If you're a Rockstar,
oh yeah, come and see us.
You can
and,
get
which one is it? That one. Rockstar pin badge.
Pin badges will be available because we've been messaged about this already as well.
Yeah.
We may be making them available to
order online.
As well
for a small fee.
Yeah, so we're looking to that to see how we can get them out there to people.
But these are more for if you come and see us.
If you see us in the flesh,
and you are a Rockstar, just show that you're a Rockstar, and you can have one of our.
But I know we had messages straight away after we flashed them up last time. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So do that.
With that, we are going to say goodbye to you guys, and also goodbye to 2022.
See ya.
And we look forward to seeing you in the very near future. Okay.
Bye for now.
Stay safe. Bye bye.